I feel something coming along. Do you feel the same way? I feel something coming along.
So welcome back. It is One Take with Andrew. We've been doing a couple episodes so far to date. Some great folks commenting about them on Twitter and sharing it on different social media. You know, one day it'll have thousands and thousands of views, but right now I'm talking to the folks who are looking at it. So first of all, thanks for watching. David, what are we talking about today?
All right, Andrew. So you just had a webinar. We had a lot of people tune in on that, which was great. Curious to hear if there's anything that you'd like to add to it. I know it was an hour long, so if there's something, I know you spoke on culture, so great to hear if there's anything that you'd like to add.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great webinar. As a matter of fact, David, you can work your magic. If you can put in a link here for the folks who didn't get to see it. So it was a great webinar. It was with Ilta. I chatted with Bill Carrer from Von Briesen, one of our earliest partner firms. Also, Beth Patterson from Allen's was on there, and she was such a great moderator. I think what I'd like to, if I could expand on something, I think the big one was the attitude that it takes for innovation to happen in law. And so what I mean by that, David, is, you know, we chatted about AI, we chatted about advanced technology, and all those things are great. But at the core of any introduction of new technology into a law firm, no matter what size, is adoption and that attitude of innovation. And when you have that as part of your culture, I think that's where you see success come from. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, Bill shared his perspective on it, and he said at Von Briesen, they like to think about innovation as different bets, different tech bets that they're making, and that they know that some will actually pay off, and that kind of spirit of changing things and trying new things has led them to be very successful. They continue to have great success and they're growing. And I think that's what needs to be replicated at law firms. So sometimes, I mean, ROSS Intelligence being an AI company and, you know, being on the cutting edge, we talk about, you know, the technology, and I think that's huge. But I think, you know, the old saying is you need the right people, the right processes, and the right technology. And so I think talking about those processes and those people really has to be this culture, and it has to be an organizational kind of transformation as well. Or else what ends up happening, you can wheel in the world's smartest machine into a law firm, but if folks aren't ready to adopt it, if folks aren't, you know, having that innovative attitude, and it's not just folks, you know, using it, it has to come right from the top, you're not going to be as successful. So I think that was something I loved chatting about on the webinar. I love chatting too about, you know, where, you know, things are going and how AI will continue to be built up with a variety of different companies in the space. I think 2017 is such an exciting time for artificial intelligence. It's also a very exciting and transformative time for law. You know, everyone knows, you know, what's happened coming out of 2008, with it really changing from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And I think AI's development has tied in quite nicely to the changing transformation in the legal industry. So what we're seeing is this new technological ability to actually bring the efficiencies that our clients are demanding of us. So I think law and AI go together, and they're kind of go hand in hand. And I think this kind of timing has been perfect as well. But yes, to kind of circle back to what this is all about, I think the key for any new technology to be successful, and I think something we touched on in the webinar that you can do a whole webinar on, is that you need to have that idea behind you know, new technology that you're bringing in. It has to be innovative, you have to have an open approach, and that's where you make exciting things happen.
And Andrew, you said AI is not perfect. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, sometimes in our profession, we want to be perfect, and that's kind of why we are great at what we do as lawyers. But I like to use the example, you know, when IBM's Watson played Jeopardy, it didn't get every single question right. And so I often advocate and I say the real winning formula is machine plus human. And I think people can't forget that. When you team them up, you know, that's how you get the best results. And so the AI system's not going to do everything for you. It's not perfect, but when it's teamed up with the right human, open attitude, innovative, forward thinking, you can make a lot of amazing things happen. And we're seeing that on a daily basis with all our great partners, whether they're a small law firm, medium-sized, large, bar association, or law school. Folks with ROSS are seeing that together they can accomplish more. And I think, like I said, 2017 is just really, really exciting. And I know this weekend is going to be President's Weekend. I'm all set up in my kind of casual clothing because I'm going to be having some fun and going on some hikes this weekend. So if you guys have any questions, I will be kind of still on social media. Shoot me a line on Twitter. I'd love to chat about this stuff. It's not getting me to start, but getting me to stop, as David knows, and he's waving at me for me to stop. So thank you so much. That's One Take with Andrew, and looking forward to the next one. Take care.